Alright, video recording, audio recording, screen recording, and let's get a clap. Well, my room's a mess, my face is breaking out, I have all the symptoms of COVID, yet somehow I don't have COVID. So, I thought, might as well just make a video, right? It's about time. So, now that I have access to my good friend's Disney Plus account, you know who you are, I decided that I should exploit its features for profit as much as I possibly can to, take down the patriarchy and such. And for some reason, the very first movie I wanted to watch on this platform, this expansive, wonderful, horrifying streaming service that reminds me of everything I hate about America. No, it wasn't National Treasure Book of Secrets starring Harvey Keitel, although that was pretty high on the list. It wasn't even Spider-Man No Way to the Shitter, no. It was X-Men. Now, I've always been a huge Marvel Comics fan since I was a wee lad, as you can tell by this unfinished collage of random comics that I collected. And I think my favorite series was X-Men because of the power in that narrative. Because instead of seeing superheroes as, well, superheroes, mutants were outcast, ostracized, even feared. But Marvel as a film franchise and the Marvel Cinematic Universe seems to have a knack of taking these complex stories and Americanizing them. And what I'm really trying to say here is...
And by the way, the women are always saving the men around here. You might want to think about changing the name to X-Women.
I mean, what the fuck is that? That's literally just the writers mansplaining feminism to me. It doesn't work. But before we get too far into my deeply rooted resentment of most of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, yes, there are exceptions, I always had this idea that X-Men movies stood out among the other whitewashed superhero storylines because, how can you make that narrative not about politics? So, case in point, I've recently watched every single X-Men movie that Disney Plus has to offer. Plus the Wolverine, which for some reason is only on Amazon Prime because there was some controversy about that. I don't know, I don't want to get into it. And while just about half of the films take place in the White House, or the UN Summit for some reason, as it turns out, I was wrong. There are bad X-Men movies. I always knew that, but there are bad X-Men movies. Look, I'm not here to ruin everyone's childhood, but someone out there has to order these movies from good to bad to ugly. And that someone, I guess it's me. I don't know. No one else has done it. So obviously there's no right way to do this. In fact, no matter how I do it, it's gonna start fights in the comments. There's no doubt about it. But to me, that's kind of the point. Clearly, I have no X-Men expertise, if you will. So I'm just gonna lay down some ground rules before we get started. Number 1, this tier list, ranging from F, poopy as hell, to S, an actual good movie, is on a scale of X-Men movies, not Marvel movies, and especially not movies in general. And keep that in mind, because on a scale of all movies, I don't think many of these would get past B tier. Number 2, I'm rating these films on their filmic attributes. What does that mean? Plot, characters, dialogue, setting, and not how they fit into the larger canon as a whole. I don't really give a shit about that. Again, I'm not a Marvel fan. I'm just a film nerd. Hold your applause, please. Number 3, if you have an issue with any of my picks on this list, fight me. Literally fucking fight me. Just fucking fight in the comments. But seriously, I want to start a conversation with this video, not an all-out war. So please keep your hostility to a minimum. Thank you. And finally, number 4. Deadpool does not count as an X-Men movie. I'm sorry. No matter how you spin it, it doesn't count as an X-Men movie. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's just Ryan Reynolds. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And that's about all I can think of right now. So I guess we'll just get into it. Oh, also, if you couldn't guess, there will be a lot of spoilers in here. But all these movies came out circa before 2020, so I think we're okay, right?
Deal with it.
Alright, so I decided to order these films by release date because I guess I'm just asking to be mobbed by a bunch of Marvel fans? I don't know. So here we go. Starting with X-Men. This movie, it's a tough one to start with because it's so painfully mediocre that I don't even remember it that well, despite having watched it like a week ago. Of course, it's got your original cast. You got Wolverine, Professor X, Storm, Jean, Cyclops, Rogue, Magneto, Mystique, Sabretooth. I'm running out of fingers. Hold up. I'm starting to see the issue here. The filmmakers tried to fit in so many weaving, confusing plot points that are drawn from probably 100 or so issues of the comic into less than 2 hours. It just doesn't work. Plus you got that weird side plot of the governor who turns into water, and then Mystique is somehow able to live a double life to impersonate him. Look, even if that did happen in the comics, it's just not really worth the screen time that this guy gets. I know it was the year 2000, so times have changed, but what the hell is this? Some fucking magical bubbles? I'm not intrigued by that whatsoever. It's just too many things going on at once. I don't know what else to say. There are some cool fight scenes though, so yeah, I'm just gonna put this one in C tier. Okay, what we got next? X2, huh? yeah, this one sucks. It introduces Nightcrawler, who I think is a pretty unique character, and Wolverine discovers more of his past, which is a cool thread. But there's so many things in this movie that just don't make sense. Like how, I don't know, the professor's school is completely swatted, and by the end of the movie they're just okay with going back to school there as if nothing happened. Why does everyone just agree to literally unite, as the title suggests, on a whim? Like, everyone's character development in this movie is that they're all super fucking gullible and can change their entire outlook on life in seconds. Jean is taken by the waves at the end of the movie and everyone is so sure she's dead, but
oh shit, there's another one coming out.
and I'm just gonna be honest, this is some of the worst dialogue I've ever heard, even for a superhero movie.
So, they say you're the bad guy.
Is that what they say?
But there are some cool fight scenes, though. Unfortunately, though, that's not enough to redeem this one, so I'm putting it in D tier. Alright, X-Men The Last Stand. Oh shit, here we go. Not really a fitting title considering there are like 8 other movies after this one, but I definitely watched this movie when it first came out, and I think the only thing I remember from it was this iconic scene.
Save me.
But then I watched it again and holy shit, they killed Scott? Okay, that one I don't really care about, but they killed the professor? And wait, they killed, oh, right, they killed Jean. Yeah, should have known that one. But seriously, out of the other 2 movies in the original trilogy, this one actually has a plot that's kind of easy to follow, which is a big plus. I mean, Jean is obviously a terrifically crafted character over the last 2 movies, and I feel like the filmmakers did justice to how she was portrayed in the original comics. Not to mention she's really hot, which helps. There's definitely a fair bit of fan service in this one, but again, at least the plot makes sense. And yeah, this scene. But yeah, fuck it. The Last Stand, A-tier X-Men movie. Enough said. Okay, so next up we got X-Men Origins Wolverine. Title that long can't possibly be good, right? Well, I mean, it's alright, I guess. The opening credits are definitely some of the cooler ones in this universe because they kind of set the stage for the plot and allow us to understand what's about to happen. Other than, you know, just going through a weird tunnel of 2000 CGI, I don't know. And yeah, it's absolutely entertaining to see how a once badass group of misfits turns into just a group of misfits. But I think my biggest issue with this movie is its main plot point, Victor. The actor is actually pretty good. The fight scenes, pretty good. But why? I mean, how? I mean,
Who is this guy?
why does he just disappear at the end of the movie, never to be seen again? Oh wait, he's Sabretooth? So you're telling me this guy is also this guy? No, that just doesn't make any sense. Especially because he's only mentioned for like 5 minutes in the original movie. He's irrelevant, yet we're led to believe that he's Wolverine's brother? I'm sorry, but that's gonna be a no from me. Also, side note, I always get super thrown off when Will.i.am is cast in a movie, but he actually did a pretty decent job here. And this guy, yeah, just get him out of here, please. Please leave. And don't worry, I am extremely aware that the climax of this movie is a complete meme now that Deadpool is its own movie. Still, if this was a cash grab, I think Marvel did a pretty good job here. There's a ton of action, an interesting cast, and of course, who doesn't love Wolverine? So, I'ma say it. I think this one's worthy of B tier. I can already hear your metaphorical guns cocking. Please, keep it to yourself. Okay. X-Men First Class. First of all, who the fuck wrote this movie? I actually got pretty excited when I was sitting down to watch it because, well, it's the origin story of all origin stories. The reason behind this absolutely incomprehensible storyline. Yeah, too bad it fucking sucks. Not only does this movie have some insanely sexist undertones.
Kiss.
Oh, Jesus. Gentlemen, this is why the CIA is no place for a woman.
Hey guys, Editor Gabe here. I just wanted to clarify something real quick. Although this line in this movie was intended to pick fun at, you know, the CIA and the patriarchy in general, it's just like so fake misogynistic that it almost comes off as misogynistic. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my take, I guess. Anyway, back to the video.
But also, I literally fell asleep during the climax, which is never a good sign. Really quickly, let's talk about the characters. Kevin Bacon's role as Shaw is a cool concept, but horribly executed. They put in a rip-off Nightcrawler as one of the villains. They killed off Darwin just so they could kill someone off, I guess? There's no other reason. And then don't get me started on Raven and Beast. Holy shit. I love Jennifer Lawrence possibly more than I love myself, but seeing how they absolutely butcher her acting ability in this movie, God, it hurts to watch. I mean, they continue to portray her as this weak, scared little girl, but she's really not. She could beat your ass. She could beat my ass. I want her to beat my ass. And even though the scene where Beast turns into, well, Beast is pretty cool, I guess. He offers little to no other value in this movie. Also, I don't know why this bugs me as much as it does, but the accents! Magneto can't land on a single one in this movie. I don't know, is he German? Is he Scottish? Is he American? Is he British? Like, I just don't know. All I know is that in every other movie, he's British. So what's up with that? There's just so much to dislike about this movie. The dialogue is possibly the worst it's ever been. The plot is boring as fuck. There are tons of continuity errors. I think I'm gonna have to put this one in D tier, because I have a feeling that there's still a worse X-Men movie. Alright, the Wolverine. Holy shit! This movie has by far the most explosive start of any other X-Men movie. Yeah, I know it wasn't funny, but I still wanted to say it, so there you go. But like, that's so sick! I don't care who tells you otherwise, that is an amazing scene in a film. So yeah, they got the ball rolling really well right away, and then they kind of just let it stop rolling. I was honestly so hopeful when I watched this movie again, because I really remembered it like that first scene all the way through. But what I got hit with instead was, well, let's see. Exposition, exposition, exposition. Oh, fight scene. Oh, and they're fighting, and they're fighting, and they're fighting, and when does this end? Don't get me wrong, the fight scenes are cool, like really cool. But why do they have to drag it on and on until I almost become desensitized to it? And the villain dude was interesting for sure, but I think what mostly made him interesting is exactly what made Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift interesting. The Japan effect. Like, yes, Japan is fucking sick. Everyone knows it's fucking sick. But is the setting of Japan enough to fix an absolutely terrible storyline? Unfortunately, not for this one. Still, that opening scene is so sick that I kind of have to put this one in B tier. Sorry, haters. Oh, fucking finally! They made an actual good X-Men movie! I know I'm gonna get lynched in the comments for this, but as a standalone film, Days of Future Past far surpasses everything we've rated so far. I mean, first of all, the cast! We got old Professor, we got young Professor, we got old Magneto, we got young Magneto, we got Wolverine, we got Storm, we got Beast. You want me to keep going? No? Oh. We got Jennifer Lawrence as Raven still. I fucking love you, please marry me. But seriously, regardless of how much it kind of fucks up the timeline of the entire series, this movie's actually really well made. And it seems to be way more thought out than any of the others on this list. Sure, the trope of having to go back in time to save the future is... yeah, of course it's been done before. But to put the past setting in the Nixon era and actually portraying real-life turmoil that blends in with the stories of the X-Men, it's not only powerful, it's ballsy. I mean, how many movies can you think of in which Richard Nixon is portrayed as a side character? Yeah, it's one. This one. And even though, as the audience, I was positive that the all-powerful threat of the Sentinels was gonna be defeated, this movie kept me on the edge of my seat all the way until the very last second. And I mean, Peter Dinklage. The man doesn't miss. He doesn't miss. I also feel like for the first time in the entire series, the exposition fills us in on all the events leading up to this point. And it even has time to piece together some of the Wolverine plot points that we don't get a resolution for in the previous movies. Look, I could go on, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. Days of Future Past is going in S tier. What are you gonna do about it, huh? Okay, X-Men Apocalypse? Okay, so I guess this is kind of the point in the X-Men universe that Marvel decided to ruthlessly cut and replace every single actor. Besides Hugh Jackman, who's literally holding this entire operation on his back. No wonder he's Hugh Jacked.
Absolutely fucking shredded, dude.
But seriously, they took out Hot Jean, all the old dudes. It's not looking good. And then they replaced Scott, which honestly... don't care, that guy was kind of a D-bag anyway. And we get a Cyclops backstory, which, like, whatever, it's alright, I guess. But still, out of all of the new cast, Jennifer Lawrence is the only one worth watching. Jennifer, I love you. If you're watching this, please marry me. Please. My point being, it's kind of shit. And I knew it was gonna be kind of shit from the very beginning. Bro. No way they're doing pyramids in an X-Men movie. Oh my god. So I got up to go to the bathroom once the credits started. This is a true story, by the way. And while I was in the bathroom, I accidentally took a shower, exfoliated, ordered a pizza. I ended up reading an entire 500-page textbook while I was waiting. Also cooked myself an entire 7-course meal, ate it, the pizza came, I ate the whole thing. Then I realized I forgot about the movie, so I rushed back to the TV, hoping it was over, and there were still 30 minutes left. Look, To boil it down for you, why does it have to be Oscar Isaac? I'm sorry. I don't want to bash on the guy, but now that I know what his face looks like, I see him everywhere. Oh, and other than that, the plot was just generally misleading and tried to tie up a bunch of loose ends from multiple previous films. Like, I still don't even know who this guy is at all. So yeah, this one's gonna have to be D tier because I feel bad that I roasted Oscar Isaac. Oh shit, wait. I made a terrible mistake. I totally forgot about this scene. Ah, fuck. This is gonna have to be bumped up. Look, I'm sorry, say what you will, but that might just be the second best scene in all of the X-Men movies. C tier, baby! Too bad the rest of the movie was garbage. So now we got Logan, okay. To be honest, I was a little hesitant to even include this in the list of X-Men movies. Not because it's R-rated, but yeah, that is something to keep in mind if you haven't already watched it. But because it's not a movie about the X-Men. It's a movie about people, and mortality, and other
Deep shit.
and that's exactly what I like the most about it, is how realistic it feels. After all this fighting, mutants are still hated, misunderstood, hunted, playing on the notion that regardless of advocation, regardless of the good deeds that the oppressed do in the world, the oppressors will always win. And that's even hinted at by the use of actual X-Men comics that are used to drive the plot in a creative way. The film is visually stunning as well, with a couple of the settings from Wolverine's origins making a comeback, which I really enjoyed. At the end, of course, Logan dies, which I guess they had to do, but it didn't feel forced. And the ushering of the kid mutants into this new era is also a powerful message. Like, sure, they'll always be hunted down, but they will persevere. Good movie. Again, doesn't really feel like an X-Men movie. But on a scale of X-Men movies, this one's going into A tier. Remember to hydrate, kids. And they should have stopped at Logan. I mean, come on. This movie is the most cop-out attempt at a sequel that I've ever seen. Not only is the acting at an all-time low, and god damn it if they didn't decide to kill off the last hope I had for this weird reboot of the X-Men movies. But the plot, it's just The Last Stand, but in space. So you just took a storyline that already existed and was good and made it confusing and unsatisfactory as hell. Why? Why? Literally why? Don't watch this movie, okay? Just I'm gonna sum it up for you. Jessica Chastain is an alien. The X-Men are closer to the characters from Teen Wolf than actual X-Men. And they killed my girl. It's just so transparently a money milker of a sequel and probably one of the worst movies I've ever watched in my entire life. And that's not to say that the others weren't, but this time the writers were literally like, oh, we can make a shit movie and people will still show up. Wonderful. So, congratulations, Dark Fetus. I mean, Phoenix. Where did that come from? You landed yourself an F tier. The worst X-Men movie to date. And I think that's gonna wrap it up. Oh, wait, there's still another one? You know what? No, we are not watching another sure-to-be shit movie with an all-new cast. I don't care if it has Anya Taylor-Joy in it. I don't care. I mean, I kind of care if she ends up watching this. Also, please marry me, thank you. But no, this video has gone on far too long already. I think it's time. Thank you all for sticking with me to this point. This video kind of got out of hand by the end, but hey, did you enjoy this format? Would you enjoy listening to me rant about more film franchises? Because let me tell you, there are a few. Let me know in the comments. And unless you're Jennifer Lawrence or Anya Taylor-Joy, I will probably see you next time. Sad boy out. And cut.